All right, we are live. Everyone, if you're on YouTube, put a good morning in the audience. Happy Friday. Welcome to another live AI training. And I see all of you here on YouTube. This is great. For those of you again that are on LinkedIn, you want to click the live video if you want to watch on video in the chat. Um, and then you could hop over to YouTube. So what I wanted to kind of cover today were some new features. Good morning. Were some new features on LinkedIn, and I think it's something that all of you should kind of be participating in because it's a way for you to increase your LinkedIn credibility. Also, I kind of want Fridays to be more of a Q&A style where whatever questions that you may have had in the series of video events this week, I'm able to address and answer your questions on Friday. So if you're on YouTube, like the chat, put something in the chat and start to put your questions there. On LinkedIn, I'll be able to talk to you directly. So if you're listening on LinkedIn, you could kind of watch the training on YouTube. But there is one thing that I want to share with you today specifically, and that's the new LinkedIn collaborative articles. And the reason why they're being mixed into this training is because they are generated by AI. So LinkedIn is embracing safe AI, what they call responsible artificial intelligence, and these articles are generated by that. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share the badge or whatever it is that you get when you contribute to these articles and when they find that what you contribute is thoughtful and what others find is thoughtful, right? Nancy, great to see you. eMixer, great to see you. Renee, Sapita, and if you're on the YouTube chat, just like it so that we could get more people here. I guess that's important. So I'm going to share my screen. And so if you have seen these on people's profile in the last couple of weeks, just give me a yes. Hold on, let me share it. I'm going to actually start with Chaz. Hold on. All right, so let me present. You can see my screen? Yes? You can see my screen, put a yes in the chat. And for those of you listening again on LinkedIn, if you hop over to the YouTube, then we'll be fine. Okay. Perfect. Let me do it more like this. Hold on. There's a way that I can make it a little bit different. Perfect. There we go. So I'm a little bit bigger. All right, cool. So did my bubble just get bigger? All right. So if you see this, you see a gold badge on LinkedIn. It's called Top Social Media Voice. So in this training, we're just going to go over what the best practices are to get a little gold badge or yellow, whatever color you see on your LinkedIn. So Chaz was nominated for Top Social Media Voice. So that means that he's contributed to collaborative articles on LinkedIn that are generated by AI, that people thought that his contributions were thoughtful, so on and so forth. So if you click it, you can see people on LinkedIn find Chaz a noteworthy contributor to collaborative articles in the following skill. Badges are reassessed every 60 days. So the point is that if your contributions are upvoted and people find them insightful, you're given a badge. Same thing here, top small business voice. And that's also something to keep in comment, like in mind, right? When you're doing this, is that what you contribute to will determine potentially the badge that you're given. So if you contribute, let's say, to healthcare, but you have nothing to do with healthcare, just be careful because then you'll be given a healthcare badge. Does that make sense? Put a yes in the chat if that makes sense. Yes? Perfect. And we have 40 people here on live video on YouTube. Just keep hitting the like button. That's how we grow over here. All right. So how do you do this and where do you see this? Who here has contributed to an article? I want to get a read of the room. Put yes or no in the chat. I want to see what the majority is. You have already contributed to collaborative article. Yes or no? What's the consensus? Yes, no, but I've been thinking about it. No, no. So it's kind of split. All right. Yes. All right. No. Need to learn how to do it. Okay. That's what we're going to cover today because I want you to win. I want you to get badges on your profile. Now, does this really matter at the end of the day? Sure, right? But what Like for me, it doesn't matter that much. But for the perception that people have of you, it does matter. Like those little badges matter because I've been seeing that when people comment on something on LinkedIn and they have a little badge, their name will have a badge next to it. If they host an audio room or they go to speak on the panel of someone else's audio room, it'll show the little badge and it just helps you stand out more. So there are a few ways to get to the collaborative articles. Sometimes they're at the top of your profile, sometimes they're not, but you should see them mostly as you scroll, and then I'll tell you another way to get to them. Let's see if I could find one here. It'll kind of just like interrupt the scroll. Hold on. Of course, this is the most inefficient way. Let's see. No, this is not the way I recommend. It's really the second way, but usually they come up more. But again, we can't depend on it. Who has seen them as they scroll? Who has seen I don't know why it's not showing them to me. Usually does. All right, hold on. Let me get my notifications. Because I just want to get you the direct link. Hold on. Probably should have had this link prior. That's funny. Hold on. Because you'll also get the notifications when people find your stuff insightful. But I get so many notifications on here. Hold on. Okay, here. So it says Ryan and 8 others found your contribution insightful. So you'll get these notifications. So this is my contribution to one of these collaborative articles. So this is what one will look like. And then I'm going to share this link so that you could just go to all of them directly. Hold on. And I'll put this in the chat. It's very inefficient. So just save this link. I put it here. Just save that link somewhere because sometimes you'll see it as you scroll like a bunch, like it's every other post, but not today, right? So just make sure that you save the link somewhere if you want to contribute. If you're listening on LinkedIn, we have almost 100 people listening on LinkedIn. Come over to the YouTube and watch the screen if you want to like actually see it. So let's go back here. Now, how do you collaborate with other content creators? This is just one under small business. So as you can see at the top, it says help unlock community knowledge with us. Add your insights into this AI-powered collaborative article. And then it says this is a new type of article that we started with the help of AI. So these articles are being generated by responsible AI, but it isn't complete without insights from experts like you. Share your thoughts directly into each section. You're in a select group of experts that has access to do so. And then from the LinkedIn team. So what you do, how you add your perspective is that you could just click this and start to type and then share your idea. The better your idea, I wasn't even sharing the right screen. the better your idea, you'll see that people, like random people, just upvote it. So as you can see here, my idea got 9 reactions. And just to review the top, this is what it says. So it's telling you, it's asking for your contribution to add your insights to this AI powered article. And it's a new type of article, and it's asking you to share your thoughts directly. If I wanted to share my thoughts about finding other collaborators, I could add here. If I wanted to share my thoughts about planning projects, I could add here. But I also added at the bottom. This one got 3. It's not how many you do per se, but it's how many upvotes your contribution gets, because they want the best possible contributions. So only if other people find your contribution insightful, only if it gets upvoted, will, when they reassess, you get the little badge, the little light bulb next to your name. Does this make sense? And again, whatever topic you contribute to in these collaborative articles will be associated to the badge that you get. Yes, you could get more than one badge. All right. So you could get badge on, I know a couple people with a few badges already. Does this make sense? All right. And I put the link to the collaborative articles in the chat already. So let me go back here. Now, when you go to the all collaborative articles, what you'll see is all of these topics. So you'll see marketing, public administration, whatever, content management, and then you would just start to click around. And honestly, just let's say marketing. My personal strategy would be to start with questions that you could actually answer, and not to use, I would not leverage AI for these questions, because LinkedIn's probably smarter than you think, and they're asking you to add your personal insights, because these are already created with AI. So you could also see how many contributions people have made to an article here. So 6, 21, 11, 2, 4. So some are obviously more popular than others. So does everyone have access to this right now? No. And you could see at the top, one of the ways that you could see if you have access is whether or not you can contribute. But here it says kind of the rules. So you could read it. It's not complete without insights from experts like you. We invited experts to contribute, learn more. So let's do this. Collaborative articles are a new way to tap into the collective knowledge. Collaborative articles are knowledge topics. So contributing. If LinkedIn has invited a select group of experts to contribute, LinkedIn identifies members who are likely to be experts in a certain topic based on their work experience, skills, proficiency, and prior engagement on the platform. So this is why I always urge people to be active on LinkedIn, to engage on LinkedIn, because when new features, and to post on LinkedIn, just being active is not enough. If you don't post enough original content consistently, then when new features like this are released, you will not get access to them first. There are still, like, you still even need 150 followers to get access to live. They want people that are active and posting. They also must meet high trust and quality standards. To be considered, you can engage with the articles by liking or reacting to them. So I had someone in our community that was not able to contribute last week, but just because she got on the radar, I think this really does matter here. Like she upvoted a few people, she started liking the articles and whatever. And yesterday she logged in, and now she's able to contribute with the collaborative articles under teaching. And she's a teacher. So if you don't have the ability to contribute, then I would say just start engaging with them and make sure that you at least start posting some type of original content on LinkedIn. If you have been invited to contribute, you can click the plus button and add your perspective to add your contribution to a section in the article. You can earn a community top voice badge, for example, top engineering voice, if members find you to be one of the most upvoted contributors to collaborative articles for a particular skill. So again, this is not just spamming these collaborative articles and just putting 10 answers out there. If your 10 answers are not the best and don't get upvoted, then it's not associating you with earning the badge. So I hope that this makes sense. Put your questions in the chat so that I can start to answer them. But I think that it's important for everyone here to know because I want you to get a badge. So Victoria says she does not have access to it. So one of the things you could do, Victoria, is just make sure that you like the articles and that like you upvote a few people and just start, just start engaging with the collaborative articles however way you can. It only took a few days for that person that I was talking about where she could not contribute to yesterday she logged in and she was able to contribute. No, you don't have to wait for an invitation. It's just whether you can or not. So the only way to find out is by going to an article. Hold on, because I have to share my screen again. So here. So the only way to find out is by going to an article and like picking, right? So let's say I want to contribute to how do you keep learning and growing as a leader? If you can't add your perspective, then you can't contribute. The other thing is try to stay in your lane of skill sets because remember, LinkedIn is giving you access to be able to contribute to these collaborative articles based on your work experience and your skill set. They gave you all the information of what they're looking at. So it's work experience, it's skill set, it's whether you've abided to their policies and their trust stuff, and whether you're posting or not, right? Like how engaged you are with the platform. Um, so if you cannot add your perspective, then my best advice is like start upvoting people that you really find that their answers are insightful. And then with the people that you do find their answers insightful, you could always connect with them. This is a great way to also find other leaders and to reach out to them to engage with their content because they're the ones that I mean just by him commenting on this and contributing, he's telling you that he's active on the platform. He's telling you that he's, trying to become a thought leader on LinkedIn in a way and that he's engaged with other people on the platform. So those type of people are also more likely to accept your connection request, as a whole. This is a great question, Yogesh. How can you find the previous response? I don't know. The only way that I have found mine is by the notifications that I get, but I don't think that there's a super organized way yet. So what do you mean how quickly you respond? Mixer. And if you're listening on LinkedIn, you can click the YouTube link in the chat and watch live. So contributors not LinkedIn will determine if your position will be recognized. So the way that I understand it, Charles, is that the contributors, like the people that read the articles, are the ones that upvote you. If your answers get the most upvotes and stuff, your contributions on average get the most upvotes, then it's LinkedIn that determines that, right? But in a way, it's not LinkedIn. It's really whether your answer is insightful and gets upvoted. It's both. So can AI come up with ideas to collaborate? Can AI come up with some ideas and then I expound on it? Um, I don't know if I would use AI for this because like the only reason that answers I think are insightful is like specific things. Like for one of mine, I shared it was how do you pitch people to come to your podcast or something. And I was just like, the worst thing you could do is to be very generic because, and the only reason I know this is because I get this all the time, right? People are like, hey, can you come on my podcast? I don't know what your podcast is about. I don't know when. I don't know for how long. I don't know why. I don't know what you're going to do to promote it. There's no specifics, and they put the burden on me to figure out what that collaboration looks like. Unless it's specific, I probably won't even respond. Not just because I may not want to, but because my focus is on things that are specific. And that in and of itself, just coming up with the idea and all of those things requires a lot of time and energy. And right now my time and energy are dedicated to my clients. So uh just that share, I was like, say this instead of this. And I added like a lot of specifics to the example. I think that I don't know if AI would have come up with that, right? So I think that like sharing stories and specific examples will actually differentiate you because when I do look at a lot of the contributions, they do look as if they were written by AI or they're just very general. And if they're just very general, they're not going to get upvoted. How long does it take for these to get activated? Mine didn't take long, a couple days. But I had within those couple days, again, I don't think it's the time, I don't think it's the quantity, I think it's the again, do people find your answer insightful? So, I think within that amount of time, I had 2 that passed, like, 8 or 9 upvotes or something. But I think that it's important, like and I think that for everyone listening, it can help differentiate you, so and it doesn't take that much time and energy if you probably contribute to maybe 3 or 5 a week and you're really thoughtful and your answers get a lot of upvotes, then, um, you know, it could help you. But put in any of your other questions in the chat. When did I start? A couple days ago. And it's good because when you contribute, like, I don't know what the rules are, right? But for some people, I actually see when they contribute. So LinkedIn will notify me and say, hey, Jack just contributed to this collaborative article. And then I could check it out. Also, sometimes when I scroll, and I'll try to find one now, like when I was scrolling earlier today, it will sometimes show me articles that other people in my network have contributed to, and then it will show their face at the bottom and then give me an option to upvote their answer. Trying to find one now, but I saw one this morning that Andrea had contributed to an article and it propagated in my feed. It said it showed the article and it showed her face at the bottom with her answers. So I think like LinkedIn's trying to also push your answers in front of people that may know you to kind of help you. You're welcome. Go get your badge. Okay. Is it advisable to have your followers upvote your contributions? I mean, like most of the upvotes that I got are from people that I don't even know. So I think like the first thing that everyone here should do, because people have asked me, should I just, you know, give it to 20 of my friends to upvote? Like I don't think so. I think the first attempt, or at least the first 10, you should really sit there and you should really try to like look at the baseline answers. Like be strategic about it. Don't go into an article where you're going to get demolished and where there's answers that are 10 times better than ones that you can provide. So leverage a blue ocean type of strategy here. Everyone, like personally for me, I think I got it fast too because everyone's trying to fight each other for leadership. I didn't see any of the people contributing in small business. So I was like, let me go over here. And those were actually, I deal with small business owners all day. I help them all day long. I am a small business owner. So those were also the questions that I was like, oh, I could really answer this. I could really answer this. And I just started having fun with it. And then they just started getting upvoted. So I think like go for the blue ocean strategy. Did anyone understand what I just said? I hope so. Andreas said, I agree. I see contributions from my network. For any of you that go to Andrea's morning affirmations room, that's her YouTube. So subscribe to this channel, subscribe to her channel if you want to support her mindset affirmations for entrepreneurs. And if you're on LinkedIn listening, raise your hand if you have a question, because I could bring you up to the stage. And to raise your hand, you just click the little hand icon at the bottom right of the screen. And to raise your hand, you just click the little hand icon at the bottom right of the screen. What's happening here? There's Sapita. To sum up, have the blue ocean strategy and finding the niches with the less traction helps you stand out. Yeah, I think so. At least it helped for me. Do you find that first responders get more upvotes or does it matter if I respond 1 week later? I don't think it matters because I was kind of late to this game. A lot of people started contributing a month ago or collaborating a month ago. I was just waiting to see what was going to happen with the feature, or because sometimes LinkedIn releases stuff and then it like fizzles out and then they take it away, kind of with LinkedIn stories. But I think this one is here to stay, and then the fact that they're releasing the badges, I was like, okay, let me dive in. So I don't think it's about first response. I think it's about quality response. Do your contributions get upvoted? Anything else? Any other questions? Put them in the chat. You have 5 minutes. Let me see here. And if you're on LinkedIn, raise your hand. We have 5 more minutes. If you want to ask a question. And to raise your hand, just click the little hand icon at the bottom right. Yeah, this is actually a great question. So is it advisable to repurpose your responses? I certainly am, especially the ones that got top upvoted, because I think I did like 7 contributions or something, and only 2 got upvoted like 9 times or more or something. So for me, that's just a great indicator that people like that topic. And so now I will do a YouTube video on those two things. I think the first question was, how do you how do you improve your marketing message by listening to your customers? It was something like that. And then the second question was, how do you get, people on your podcast? And that's when I said, be specific. But I could do a whole training on that. And the fact that that one got upvoted the most shows me that there's a certain need. So that's a great question. Always repurpose your top contributions because it's not an accident that people are interested or upvoting that thing. Can you create your own topic if you don't see one? I don't think so. They're generated if you look at the top of the articles, it says that they're generated by AI. How many articles do you need to write to get the badges? I don't think you need to write many. It's the quality of the article. I only wrote a couple. It's the quality of the contribution. I only wrote a few, but the few that I wrote got upvoted. So you can write 100. If they don't get upvoted, I don't think it matters. Repurpose, what do you mean? So I'll show you. Let me see if I could find my contribution again because they kind of disappear. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. All right, so this one, I'm going to share my screen. Share screen. So if you look at this, you'll see, you know, these is one of the answers that I had that it got 8 upvotes. So the question was, how do you craft a winning marketing message? And my answer was a little bit different. It said, listen to your top clients, listen to what they say, what they don't say, make a list of all their questions and create content that answers them. Talking to your top clients regularly will give you a massive advantage to continuously refine. So the fact that this topic like did so well, I could create a whole training like 10 ways to listen to your top clients so that your marketing gets better because this is obviously of interest. It could be a newsletter of mine. It could be a live video training for YouTube and LinkedIn. It could be whatever I want it to be. But the fact that the other ones kind of flopped and this one and the podcast one did so well just shows me that there's more interest in these topics. So I will be repurposing this one. I hope that answers your question, Charles. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe. We're gonna be doing the video lives over here. Any more questions? We have 3 minutes. Raise your hand if you're in LinkedIn and have a question. Yeah, this is great. Is it recommended to share the link to your responses? Yeah, you could share the link. I think you could even probably repost it. And to do that, that's a good question. So to do that, you just instead of sharing the whole article, because I've seen people that try to do this, but then they share the whole one, instead of grabbing this link up here, you go here and then you click the 3 dots and you could copy the link to your contribution. And then let's see what we could do here. Let's see if it will repost. I don't know if it will. Yeah, it will. So I could technically just repost it and maybe just give it more traction, but I won't do that. All right. And remember that we're going to be live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. on video. We're building the curriculum. So all week next week at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be live on YouTube. There was someone that on Threads the other day was like 0 to 31 to 1,000 in 90 days because we had 31 people live the other day. Yesterday we had 64. And so the goal is to go live for 90 days and to get to 1,000 people live because it will compound. So if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be deciding if they're going to stay up, right? If the replays will stay up or if they'll be taken down and then repurposed into a shorter version. But just make sure that you stay tuned because we have a lot of good stuff coming for you. And if you have a friend that could benefit, like let's say you have a business owner friend that could benefit just from all the information that we even shared this week. We shared a lot this week, by the way. You could look at the last 3 lives or 4 lives, whatever it is, and you could benefit from them too. If you have a friend that can benefit, then just share the channel. We appreciate you. All right, everyone. God bless you. Have a phenomenal Friday, and I'll see you on Monday.